Yeah, it's your boy A1 back with another reaction. Don't forget to hit that like and that sub for your boy, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get right into this, bro. Let's get it.
This YouTuber just posted a video of himself launching a live possum into the air using a homemade catapult, and now Florida authorities are investigating him for potential animal cruelty charges. And honestly, at this point, I thought I've seen
So we eating possums now. Got it.
every single way an influencer could get in trouble with the law, but apparently they're inventing new ones by the day. New method unlocked, I guess, but this one really should have stayed in the drafts. So meet Charles Ross, a Florida-based creator who spent the better part of 2 decades building an audience under the name of Ross Creations. Ross operates under 2 separate YouTube channels that both together have about
Hey, don't get me wrong. I like Ross Creations and his content. It's definitely different. It's a whole different vibe. It's shit funny. Just crazy off the wall wild shit. So
like 7 million subscribers and a massive 3 million followed TikTok account as well. And essentially his content revolves around filming elaborate pranks and creating quirky inventions designed to confuse random people in public. And these videos, they are like infinitely higher effort and way more creative than the average prankster that we cover here on this channel. Because normally the people we cover here on this channel, they just like harass people in public, call it a prank, and then call it a day. But this guy will go way out of his way and rewire vending machines to spit out hot dogs and they're trying to buy a soda, or make like a dozen mailboxes, which each one gets smaller, so it looks like his mailbox is shrinking day by day to the mailman. But despite him having entertaining videos on his channel, on November 30th, Ross uploaded a video showcasing his newest creation, which he proudly labeled the Possum Launcher. And yeah, it's literally what it sounds like. So he constructed a spring-loaded catapult mechanism specifically engineered to fling possums through the air. And in the setup, you have bait on the launch pad to lure wild possums to climb up into the device. So the footage that Ross posted, you could see a wild possum approach the contraption, climb up towards the food, and, you know, he just triggers the catapult. The animal then gets hurled about 30 feet into the air until, you know, obviously gravity takes over and he comes crashing back down onto the ground, hard enough to hear an extremely loud thud.
Oh, what do we got here? A possum. You are going to Mars.
oh, we got the footage.
Yes. Oh, my God!
Goodness. Holy.
Bam! He just walks away. Oh, man.
I don't
Come on.
He just walks away. Did you see some walking? I did. It didn't look like Buddy was moving after that one. I ain't gonna lie. I think he might be cooked.
I guess the prank here was to just seriously injure wild animals for a prank video. Like, it's just a shockingly tone-deaf video from this guy. And again, his content isn't low effort. So him and his team, they had to go out there, build this catapult, and at no point did anyone think, maybe launching wildlife like 30 feet into the air, essentially for sport, is a bad idea. Who would have
Right.
thought? But no, they just built the whole thing and went on with it. They recorded the video and they watched the video back and they were like, yeah, this is good. Let's post this. What could go wrong?
Pretty much.
Apparently a lot could. But the caption of this post was just W. So for win. And I'm mentioning this because the Instagram post was the spark that turned this into an absolute dumpster fire.
He should have put L on there, bro, because he's finna eat a fat ass L. Like, for real. The animal community is finna absolutely just rip this dude apart.
It's safe to say he was not popular in that comment section. And the interesting thing about the feedback he was getting on this video is most of it was just his fans. And you normally don't have a fan base giving most of the backlash. Normally, the fan base endorse and encourage this kind of behavior from these prank channels, but not this time. Thankfully, most of the people on the internet still have morals and see the absolute problem with launching animals 30 feet into the air just to hit the ground for sport. And that's when Instagram's community note system actually flagged the post in reference to a Florida law. Specifically, the one cited was Florida Statute 821812, which lays out the legal definition of animal cruelty as causation of unnecessary harm, torment, or injury to any animal. And obviously that makes sense because that's what he did. He purposefully harmed and tormented animals for a social media prank. But being busy doesn't mean you have to order expensive takeout, which takes a toll on your health. Because in today's sponsor, Factor 75, you can skip the prep and cleanup on the nice subreddit dedicated to possums. Yes, that actually exists. Found that one one out today, well, they completely lost it over this video. So people in that community were furious enough that one post actively encouraged members to file reports with the FBI from what they saw. And I feel like one of the reasons the backlash was even more intense is because he did this to possums, because possums occupy this like weird space where they're both very misunderstood and genuinely helpful animals, because many people think possums are just like aggressive pests, but in reality it's completely different, because usually they're pretty much harmless to humans unless they're actively defending their babies, and even then they're more likely to play dead than actually attack. Also, fun fact here, possums serve this like very useful role in the environment since they eat a lot of insects, including ticks, which we unfortunately have a big problem of here in the States, because ticks can carry some of the worst diseases. Possums eat a whole bunch of ticks alongside of, snails, slugs, roaches, and even venomous snakes and rodents. And they also clean up animals that have passed before they can rot and spread illnesses through neighborhoods. You see, I learned all of that information from that Reddit while doing research to this video. So those people who knew those facts, they started flooding the comments with all this information. And by early December, this had moved well beyond just internet drama, because the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office started receiving complaint after complaint from viewers who'd seen the video and wanted law enforcement to take action. And on December 9th, Florida's Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission had officially...
I told you, bro, the animal community was gonna be they was gonna deer him, bro. No cap. He's getting deer right now, bro. No cap. You hate to see it though, brother, but he shouldn't have put that out for the internet to see, bro, knowing that people are serious about animals. It don't matter what type of animal, bro.
Open an investigation, and they weren't working alone. They also partnered up with the Sarasota County State Attorney's Office to examine the incident from both a wildlife protection angle and a potential criminal prosecution angle. And the FWC put out the statement explaining that they take any violations involving wildlife extremely seriously and remain fully committed to protecting animals throughout the state. So they also set up a wildlife alert hotline and encourage anyone with additional information or footage related to this incident to come forward. Then the animal welfare organization started weighing in as well. Obviously, PETA jumped in on this. So I guess PETA's emergency response team, as you would expect, they called the video absolutely sickening and described it as a horrifying and gracious use of cruelty against animals who simply are just trying to exist. But apparently this isn't the first time Ross has had issues with the law, because, content. But most of his videos, as I mentioned earlier, they're harmless, and some of them are pretty entertaining. But he does swing and miss and do things that just don't make sense. I mean, the possum stuff in general, that's just completely moronic. But just last year in 2024, he got hit with a trespassing charge while filming content for his channel. And then back in 2019, he also pulled an April Fool's stunt where he dressed up in full police uniform, complete with a utility belt and baton, and approached random people while pretending to be an actual officer.
I seen that
Obviously,
video.
Impersonating a police officer is never a good idea, especially not while filming it. But allegedly in this prank, he tried to issue fake parking citations to someone who was carrying a small child at the time, and considering cops don't usually appreciate civilians impersonating officers, that resulted into another arrest. Then in 2017, authorities picked him up after he removed stop signs from a residential intersection, which isn't just illegal, that's just also just a new level of stupid, which can also cause serious accidents. So I don't know what he was thinking with that one. Apparently, like Logan Paul, he does have a severe lapse of judgment from time to time. At least he didn't go looking for the deceased in Japan, though. Apparently going even further back, though, in 2013, Ross
just caught a stray. No gap.
Pleaded guilty to charges stemming from giving random strangers wedgies in public. That's like, dude, diabolical charge, but why would you ever give strangers a wedgie to begin with? Yeah, that's assault. But hey, most of these incidents ended with relatively light consequences, probation, community service, charges getting dropped.
Bro's
the
a
difference
menace,
with this
bro.
possum situation is that it involves animal welfare, which tends to be taken a little bit more seriously by both the public and the legal system than property crimes or public disturbances. So what's actually on the line for Ross here if prosecutors decide to actually move forward with charges? Well, Florida Statute 82812, they cast a pretty wide net when it comes to defining animal cruelty, because the law essentially covers anyone.
If we talking about money, bro, if he ain't getting no jail time, if we talking about money, I don't think that he's gonna learn his lesson, to be honest with you. Fuck with his content. His content is funny as shit, but you step outside that box sometimes, that comfort zone, bro, and people take it to a whole different level. So he's getting what he deserves in this, but if he can just pay the money and get out and get scot-free from this, then there's really, there's really no learning behind it, because as you can see, this is not his first run-in. So, like, We'll see.
Who unnecessarily harms, torments, deprives of basic care, or ends the life of any animal without a legitimate reason. And if convicted of animal cruelty in Florida, penalties can range from sizable fines running into thousands of dollars all the way up to actual jail time. But again, Ross filmed the entire incident himself. He edited the footage, added his own commentary by his own choice, published it to millions of followers. I mean, there's no question what happened or who did it. He just documented and distributed everything, all of the evidence. He is, just like so many other people we cover, the own star witness against himself. So as of right now, the investigation remains active and ongoing, so I guess we'll just kind of have to wait to see how this all plays out. And even though Ross pulled the original clip once the backlash started, once it's on the internet, unfortunately, it's forever on the internet. But as of right now, he hasn't issued an apology, he hasn't addressed the investigation, he hasn't responded to media requests for comment, and he hasn't acknowledged the situation in any capacity. From a legal perspective, that kind of makes sense, because, you know, he's facing criminal charges here. But from a PR standpoint, it probably doesn't help with how his audience is looking at him.
You can at least say,
now, I guess
sorry,
we're just posting content like normal, and we just kind of have to wait and see what happens. But other than that, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like on it, subscribe if you're new, and also check out
W video, bro. That's crazy, bro. Hopefully he learns his lesson from this, though, man. But besides the point, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in once again. It's your boy A1, man. We'll see y'all in the next reaction video. Much love and blessings. Peace.